Most cops are weak. They don't have proper training. They don't know how to shoot. They don't know how to fight. The fact is, it's not just cops. It's civilians alike. And for the last 11 years, we've been producing gear mainly for police officers, but a few years ago, we got into the civilian market and started creating products for civilians as well, those who are concerned about their safety and who are trying to be more tactical, more prepared. However, our research has found that most of the cops that we sell our gear to are not prepared. And most of the civilians we sell our gear to are also not prepared. In most cases, the cops are less prepared than the civilians. We found that in many cases, civilians take their firearms training more seriously. They take their self-defense training more seriously. And they take their general concern about what's going on around them more seriously. Now, that's not to say that there are no police officers who do this. I worked with a couple who were very vigilant. They took their firearms training seriously. They learned a skill like jiu-jitsu or some sort of martial art, and they worked out. They lifted weights. They would run. They would do CrossFit. They made sure that they were physically fit. They took care of their mind. They were mentally strong. But that was the outliers. Those were the ones that were so uncommon. What was common were cops who didn't work out, didn't take care of their bodies, didn't take care of their mind, didn't care about being proficient with their firearm, had no training, didn't know how to fight, couldn't fight anyone, couldn't do a thing. They would just probably try to use their strength and gas out within a couple of minutes. Completely unprepared for the job. Didn't even take time to learn how to really drive the way you need to know how to drive as a police officer. None of it. And forget about tactics. Room clearing, building clearing, forget it. Absolute garbage. And if you talk to an honest police officer who actually does this training and actually cares because they realize they're doing a job that can kill them, and ask them, honestly, what is the training and preparedness of most police officers? Not the average, most police officers. An honest police officer will tell you it's absolute dog shit. Now, let's go to the civilian sector. I know some guys who they're prepared. They're ready. They know how to fight. They do some jiu-jitsu. Maybe they're a blue belt or something. They go to the range every few weeks. They do some drills. They do dry fire drills at home. They got some stuff in their house, like a go bag and some stuff ready. They got a plan with their family for in case something goes south. They have a couple of things going on. They're prepared. They're ready. They got a firearm readily accessible in their home. Maybe they keep one in their vehicle if it's allowed by the law of the state they live in. All these little things. Spare food, spare water, and just being ready. Being ready, being prepared in their home and being prepared to protect their family and their loved ones outside of their home. And I asked them, because I trained with some of these guys, and how many of your friends actually do this? And they all say the same thing. Pretty much no one. Pretty much no one. And I realize as the owner of a business that has the name Tactical in it, we've done a really bad job of making sure that our customers are actually tactically sound and actually prepared. Selling you gear is easy because the gear is high quality. It's made well. It's high quality and made well because I was sick of gear that was absolute dog shit and would fall apart on you a few weeks after you got it. So I decided to make gear that didn't suck and just didn't have a fancy logo on it. That pants that FBI agents were wearing. I wanted to make good shit that lasted. And I wanted to make stuff that people used and would take care of their concerns on the job. The Max Dry vest, the Guardian gloves, the Hero gloves. All the things that I needed and I wanted while I was on the job that didn't exist. So I created them, not only for me, but my fellow coworkers. And then when it came time to creating civilian stuff after I left the job, and I started noticing breakdowns that I was having in the civilian world, and I wanted some of these concerns taken care of, I started creating these items that were offers of help for those who wanted to be ready and prepared in the civilian world. But once again, they were just products. They were well thought out products, high quality products, but they were just products. And getting good, high quality products in someone's hands, the reality is not enough. It's simply not enough. These people need to know what to do, when to do it, how to do it. And if you don't possess that knowledge, you're not ready. You're not prepared. You could look tactical, but the reality is you're probably going to be the first one dead. So I decided for 2026, I'm going to change the direction of 221B Tactical. I'm going to change how we operate. I'm going to change our offers. I'm going to change how we market our products and how we offer our products, how we package our products. Because it's not about just a singular product getting into your hands. It's about you being ready, you being prepared, not just for one thing, but for anything. And a pair of gloves might prepare you for one or two things, but what about everything else that can happen to you? A max dry vest is going to keep you comfortable and cooler and drier, which helps keep you more focused, which is really important. But what else? What else? There's so many things that are not being addressed. And up until now, we've been a product company addressing singular concerns. And I realized it's time to change to a company that is focused on the bigger picture. What's ultimately going to keep police officers alive? The whole picture, the whole story. What's ultimately going to keep a father alive and his family alive? What's it going to take? It's not just one product. It's going to take a lot. So we're going to now commit to being the company that teaches and provides knowledge and gets you prepared or helps get you prepared for more. Not just slip on a pair of gloves and they're needle resistant and these gloves are awesome. They got great dexterity. You can still fire your weapon. And if you come across a needle, you won't get poked and end up dying of some disease. Okay. But what about everything else that you're not thinking about, that you're not currently doing, that could potentially get you killed? So I know it's a radical change, and I know that not everyone is going to like it. But I can't do what everyone likes. I got to do what feels right. And for the last decade, what has felt right was really good, high-quality gear for police, first responders, and responsible civilians. But now, what feels right is making sure people in the law enforcement, first responder world, and the prepared civilian world are equipped on a broader spectrum with what they need to survive. And they, one, need to know the elements of that, and two, have the tools. Are we going to offer all the tools? No. But we're going to offer resources, and we're going to try our best to bring on people that can be an offer of help to you, offer knowledge, offer skills, whatever it might be. Because if we're not offering that, I believe that to be the minimum. We want to be the company that you look to, not just for really good, high-quality gear that's tactical, but also gives you everything else you need to utilize that gear and other things to help you stay alive. I'd rather be that company. Honestly, I'd rather be that company and sell you less shit. Don't buy my shit, but please buy into what we're going to be sharing from a program standpoint of what you should be doing. And even if you don't use the people we might recommend or suggest, we would say go find someone that does that you're comfortable with. We might recommend someone for firearms training, police, law enforcement, civilian, doesn't matter. And if maybe you're not comfortable with that person, Okay, fine. Go find someone you are comfortable with. What we're going to say is don't do nothing. Don't go train with nobody, or don't go try to figure out this stuff by yourself when you don't know what the hell you're talking about and you don't even know how to clear a room. Find somebody. I think we're going to offer a broad spectrum of knowledge from people across the country and around the world on a lot of different topics. You'll like some of them. Others you won't. Doesn't matter. Find ones you like because it's important. And if we, at the minimum, provide you with this knowledge and introduce you to these people and give you this content at no cost, but we just want you to absorb it, know it, and then go do some work on your own, we're going to feel better about you going out there and doing that, whether it's with our gear on or not. Listen, of course, I want you to buy my shit. But if you don't buy my shit, it's fine either. That's fine. Just be prepared, because you're doing a job. For those of you who are on the job wearing a badge, carrying a gun, wearing body armor, you're doing a job that can kill you. So be prepared if someone tries to kill you, or something during the job tries to kill you. Be prepared. If you're a civilian, you have a family, you have a wife, you have kids, you have a household. Learn. Be prepared. That's what being a man is. Being prepared, being a protector, being a guardian, not being a liability. You want to be an asset. You don't want to be a loser. You want to be fit. You want to be weak. There's no benefit in the history of man to being weak. Since man has been on earth, there's never been a benefit to being weak. Ever. So that's what has been up at 221B Tactical. And that's what's going to be up at 221B Tactical for the foreseeable future. I invite your comments, sharing what else we might want to include, or if you think that this is bullshit and a bad idea. I can't imagine how anyone would think learning to be more capable and more of an asset and less of a liability would be a bad thing. But of course, it's 2026 and people are crazy. So some idiot out there is going to be like, yeah, this is stupid. Of course, we know that. And we're ready for your comments. Kyle 357. We got it. We know. So that's it. So you're going to see some changes on our website. You're going to see some changes on our social media. And you're going to see some changes on our products. And we think that's the right thing to do for the customers we are serving. We need to do better. And that's our goal. I'll leave you with this. We've given to charities over the last few years, various charities, police widows, veterans charities, you name it. But in 2026, we're doing something different. Our goal is to provide 1 million meals to starving children around the world. Something different, however, something important and relevant. So we're going to have different sales and different events during the year, online and also at our new HQ in Florida. And we're going to be taking $1 from people who want to donate $1 or from people who purchase items. And we're going to be putting that toward the Million Meal Initiative. And the goal is by December 31st of this year, raise enough money to provide 1 million meals to children in need. Most people today that are probably watching this probably don't know what it is ever like to be a kid and be hungry. But I was one of those kids at one time. And it really sucks. So I decided to shift gears. And for 2026, people reach out to us all the time from different police agencies around the country asking us to support their events or support their fundraisers, donate gear. Of course, we're still going to do all of that. But from a monetary standpoint, I'm going to make sure that we can get 1 million meals out there. That's another thing we feel is important. And as the leader of this company, something I want to do. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it no matter what it takes. 1 million meals. And all it takes is $1 to help. So let's do this. Let's be better prepared, more well-rounded, and let's feed some hungry children while we're doing it.